Wait a minute. Are you telling me you made a podcast out of a Bomb Squad? Hello and welcome to Bomb Squad Movie Night. This is episode 140. For the first time ever in Bomb Squad history, you have yourself a guest host. Me. My name is James the Nerd, and today we'll be talking about the first movie in my favorite franchise of all time, Back to the Future.
Next Saturday night, we're sending you back to the future.
Now, I have a very vast connection with this through the years, going from meeting cast members and co-creators to seeing it open on Broadway. Now, I'm very excited to introduce our panel for you today. Today with me, we have...
Hi, I'm Tanner Richard Kraft.
I am Michael J. Fox, as seen in Michael House. Hello.
That's right, Cody Suiso.
I'm Joseph Vrenick, and I don't have a bit.
I'm Sydney Russell.
I'm Tim M. Sullivan, and I'm doing all right, but it's your kids, Tanner. We got to do something about your kids, Tanner. They're administrators for the... Yeah, that's right. That's right. They're advisors to the fucking Barron Trump White House. No! Tanner. You got to do something about it.
That is one big pile of shit.
What?
Also, one of Biff's relatives is being rude to your son. We gotta use time travel to ruin his life and benefit ours.
Now, before we get into the questions, I want to ask each of you... Wait, hold on 1 second. It's the doc. Yeah, Doc. A paradox? Messing with the structure of time? I'll be right there.
Did he fucking die?
Okay, guess James can't host the episode anymore. So you're stuck with me, Tanner. If you can't tell from all the outfits and everything we're discussing, one of my all-time favorite movies, Back to the Future, just like James said. Let's get right into it. Well, not right into it. Let's get right into our warm-up question. Sorry, I'm so unprepared. James was supposed to host this, and now because he's dicking around in the time stream, I gotta fix this shit. Before we get into Back to the Future, I have a warm-up question for you. It's kind of a two-parted question almost. If you could go back in time, one-way trip, there and back, where would you go and why? And alternatively, if that question's too fucking real for you, what's your favorite movie with time travel that's not Back to the Future? Tim, we'll start with you.
Yeah, so I think this is a question that we've all thought a lot about just in our lives, because it really just boils down to what is a missed opportunity you would like to rectify. And I've thought about it a couple different ways. On one hand, having studied film history and learning about all of the films that are lost to time, I would like to go back and visit some of the ones that you can't find anywhere. In the wake of Ozzy Osbourne's recent passing, I've also been thinking about a lot of musicians I would like to see that you can't see anymore. Like
Freddie Mercury for me.
Last month. That's valid. That's extremely valid. Like, literally last month I went to go see Linkin Park and System of a Down, in large part because I regret never getting to see Linkin Park with Chester Bennington, and I didn't think I would ever get a chance to see System of a Down.
Wake up! Wake up! Oh boy, 3 a.m.
So you gotta get them when you can. But I think if I only get one trip,
one shot, one opportunity to see Mom Spaghetti,
it's probably gonna be a little bit more of a more personal trip, which is at this point in my life, I only have one living grandparent. Both of my grandmas died when I was in college. My granddad on my dad's side died when I was 2. So my mom likes to tell me the story of the one time I saw him in the hospital, but I don't have any memory of this. So I guess if I had one trip, I would probably try and go see him while he's still around and just like have a conversation with him. That's my answer to the first part. Second part, I'll just keep it simple. Interstellar, great fucking movie. Really makes you feel the weight of time travel. Back to you, Tanner.
75%.
Confirmed. Auto self-destruct.
What the fuck?
This might be in poor taste to say, but Tim, you son of a bitch, you kinda stole my answer.
Womp womp.
My answer was gonna be, I want to go back in time and say goodbye to my grandfather before he dies. I've talked about it a lot.
Valid.
My papa passing away, that had a profound impact on me. And I think my biggest regret was, being an early teenager, 13, 14. He died when I was a month after my 15th birthday. My biggest regret was being a young teenager and just not appreciating the time I had left with him, knowing he had Parkinson's and knowing that it was getting worse, and not spending more time with him. I would have loved to go back in time and say goodbye to him one last time. I guess I'm going ahead and saying my answer there. That's my answer. As far as my favorite time travel movie that is not Back to the Future, tough question. I have two answers for you. Both are pretty recent. One's a 2013 movie called About Time. It's a wonderful little rom-com. Sweetest damn thing. Richard Curtis is 2 for 2 in directing rom-coms, if you ask me. And hell, hot take, I think I might like About Time a little more than Love Actually. I love both.
But there's this family secret. And the secret is that the men in the family can travel in time.
Huh? 2011 Source Code. I'm only iffy on that one because it might be debatable if that's a true time travel movie. But spoiler alert, I think the ending of the movie indicates it clearly is. So I'm just getting my answers out there now, so nobody else steals. I want to talk to my grandpa, which would probably be a very common answer. I'm a heartless bastard. Speaking of heartless bastards, Joseph Rennick, what's your answer to this question? I'm sorry, buddy. I love you. You know I love you, buddy.
I would go back in time and prevent my conception because everyone would
Jesus
probably live a
Christ!
significantly better life.
Good God, man!
Opening questions go into some dark places.
You have more to say, right?
Joe,
You haven't talked in a while now.
All right, Joe, time
Joe,
for the
do
real
I need
answer.
to call the crisis hotline?
Yes. Anyway.
I'm about to call a wellness check. I swear to God. Yeah, the cops went over there and we saw a noose in his closet.
All right. Kind of
finished
joke
Netflix,
aside. Kind of joke aside. I'm not actually going to answer that question because, man, oh man, like Tanner said, it's like if I don't want to answer it because the answer is too real, I don't have to, and I'm not going to because Jesus fucking Christ, all of the answers I have are too goddamn real. So, skipping that question, what's my favorite time travel movie? I guess if we're gonna go by if Tanner's gonna go by his logic with Source Code, I guess we could technically count Donnie Darko, but that's not that fun an answer. Donnie Darko's a great movie, but it's not that fun or unique of an answer.
I met a new friend.
Real or imaginary?
Imaginary.
Loser. So is Looper, but Looper is also a great movie. But if I had to pick a genuine answer to this question, I'm not just picking one movie. I'm not just picking two movies. I'm picking fucking 3 movies. It's the Bill and Ted trilogy, motherfuckers.
Yeah!
All the Bill and Ted movies are great in their own unique kind of way. The third one is probably my least favorite of all 3 of them, but that's just kind of typical of like third movies in a trilogy for the most part. Back to the Future is an exception, funnily enough. They're all really fucking great time travel movies. They have really fun characters, and man, oh man, all 3 of them have a message that we should have fucking learned when the third movie came out, which is just be excellent to each other
It's
and
really
party
funny
on,
when
dudes.
children point at their crotches on camera. That's the lesson of the third Back to the Future movie. You know the thing in the third Back to the Future movie?
I'm talking about Bill and Ted!
I zoned out. I forgot where I was. I changed my answer to time travel before this podcast started recording so I could prevent myself from saying that.
Good. My, God, why'd you have to fucking do that, man? Bill and Ted. All 3 of them. Back to you, Tanner.
Sorry, I heard third time travel movie, and I got so excited talking about that weird thing where the kid just keeps pointing at his crotch. No, it's 'cause
You
he
were
had to pee.
excited about
It's 'cause
that?
He had to pee. It's so funny. The kid's on camera, and that's the best take they got is him pointing at his crotch because he has to pee.
You weird, buddy. You're weird.
Well, the weirdest part about it too is he does like the little like wave thing, and then he
he's
starts
he's
pointing.
getting someone's attention. Thank you, Joe, for making me sound less insane. Cody, what would you do if you had a time machine, or what's your favorite time travel movie, or both?
I'll just do the former because I thought about this long and hard.
Oh boy.
I think I got a good answer because like everyone does the same thing. They either like change their lives, but, you know, I can't learn anything about the future. No. Or you know, you try to like game the system or something sentimental like that. Nah, I want to do something fucking stupid because that's the Cody way. I want to travel back to a time when a really old movie is filming. I'll say Phantom of the Opera. It just turned 100. Happy Phantom of the Opera. I just want to sneak into the background during one of their takes and just be there.
You're like in the mob in Phantom of the Opera. There's just you and your current get-ups in the crowd.
Yeah, me and my current get-up as wearing, just walking like in the background.
Our workshops are repaired it and wired parts of it for the new electric light. Perhaps we can frighten away the ghost of so many years ago with a little illumination. Gentlemen.
Oh, I be gone off that Molly. To sip of that lean, I'm a zombie.
So that way, like, you know, come to the present. You guys are doing the obviously doing the Phantom of the Opera episode. You're like, can we talk about the fucking guy in the background that's dressed like a weirdo?
That looks just like Cody.
And I just be like, oh, I'm like suddenly not on that episode. It's like, oh, Cody didn't show up this episode. That's weird. That's my answer because I think that'd be really funny.
Great answer. All right, we saved the best for last, presumably. Sydney, what would you do if you had a one-trip time machine, or alternatively, what's your favorite time travel movie?
So I have an answer for both, I think. This is kind of a difficult question for me because I always hear people say, oh, I was born in the wrong generation. Oh, I was born in the wrong time. I was born
in the wrong generation.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
While I think things can be better today, I am grateful for the comforts that I have. I love having my streaming. I love having convenience at the touch of my fingertips. I like to be able to do the things that I want to do with my life because in different decades I might not have been able to. So I did not think about this answer in a sentimental way at all. Don't know what it says about me that did not cross my mind to say goodbye to dead relatives, to, you know, like I don't know why, but I was like, I want to see some woolly mammoths and I want to figure out what the hell Stonehenge is about. I don't feel like we talk about it enough.
That's like the good. I love
What
how
it rocks about.
Sydney and Cody. Joe refused to answer the question. Correct answer, by the way. Cody and Sydney had fun answers, and then Tim and I are just like, I want to say goodbye to dead people.
That's what I just assumed everyone was gonna do. It's like, you know, fuck it, I'm going to see Long Chain.
I love that. I love
priorities.
that, Sydney. God bless you.
Thank you. Yeah, I didn't think about it because I was like, I get too caught up in the paradoxes of time travel, point where it's almost not an enjoyable genre for me. I guess genre is maybe not the right word. It's not a type of film that I always gravitate to because I get so caught up in the logistics of, but then wouldn't this happen if this happened? And it's hard for me to overlook that.
You should watch The Butterfly Effect starring Ashton
Yeah,
Kutcher.
The Butterfly. Oh, I've heard about that one. I'll have to check it out.
No, you shouldn't. That movie's not good.
Watch
little
the
niche
alternate
indie
ending
film.
where he strangles himself with his umbilical cord in the womb.
That sounds
awesome. It's not good.
A funny scene.
My favorite use of time travel in media is not actually in a movie, and it's not in a show that is specifically about time travel, but it has a character who has the ability to time travel in it, and it is the show, the 2011 English show on the E4 network called Misfits.
Fuck yeah! Misfits!
Misfits is, okay, Tim, we'll talk later, because that show, so good. There's a character in it.
Got a Misfits
every
reference.
character kind of gets their own episode centered around their own character, and their gifts that they get, their powers that they get, correlate with who they are as people. And this character who can time travel has a lot of unresolved issues and regrets, and he gets kind of stuck in loops, and he can't control when he time travels, so it's very emotional for him. He has to have an emotional response every time he time travels. So if he witnesses someone die and he doesn't know the person, he can't just snap his fingers and travel back in time. But if he witnesses someone he loves die, he'll freak out. And so it's really interesting. It's really smart. It's so funny.
All right, all great answers. But I guess now that we're all through all these very fun answers and then sometimes depressing answers, we can go right to... Hold on. It appears I'm getting a message from James the Nerd through the time stream. Hold on, let's take a listen to this message.
Hey guys, sorry I had to leave so abruptly. I'm gonna try to finish the podcast from wherever I am, whenever I am. It's funny you ask where and when I would go if I could go back in time, because I'm currently on a mission in Houston, Texas, baby. February 26th, 1998, 2:16 in the morning, Columbia Women's Hospital of... Give me 1 second. Hey, where's the maternity ward? Oh, thank you so much. All right, let's see. 124. All right, here we are. Telling you, hand me the child. Give me the baby.
I didn't know what hospital I was born in! What the fuck?
He's fading. He's fading.
All right. Now that we've revealed that James knows a little bit too much about what's going on and everything, let's talk about Back to the Future. I don't know about you guys, but growing up, this was like one of the movies. Like as a kid, this was put on a pedestal to me. Maybe that's because I had Gen X parents, but I finally watched it in like early middle school. And what did I think of Back to the Future? We'll get into it in a moment, but we're gonna start with Cody. What do you think of Back to the Future? I'm starting with him because I'm most nervous to hear his thoughts.
Oh, that's fine. I'll get my easy thoughts out of the way. I'm glad you say that everyone grows up with the movies, because quite ironically, I did not grow up with the movies. I didn't really grow up with many movies. So this is a very recent watch, and I could actually, if I wanted to, I could make this the shortest segment of all of us. 80s as fuck. And then I could just end it right there.
Correct.
Like,
for better or for worse?
For better, that's literally my review on Letterboxd. And like, cause like I've seen a lot of 80s movies, but like this one is just like, it starts with this, you know, cool Marty McFly going into his, you know, funny Dr. Friend's lab with all this bullshit going around. And what does he do first thing? You know, obviously the first thing you should do when you start a movie, plug that guitar up to the biggest amp known to man and go boom! And get launched, and that's how the movie starts. And I'm told, oh, I have another 2 hours. I'm gonna get fucking comfy then. And watching it again, oh my god, it's a really good movie. But like, no shit, it's Back to the Future. I feel like, like I know I shit on Jaws a little bit, but like, I'm not gonna shit on Back to the Future. But I mean,
you've got standards.
I got standards. But no, it's like. The set, I'm gonna just talk about set design. Oh my god, it's such a cool, like Hill Valley is just so cool looking. It makes me want to be in the 80s, except no, the 80s probably sucked ass.
Never has there been a more exciting time to be alive. A time of rousing wonder and heroic achievement. As they said in the film Back to the Future, where we're going, we don't need roads.
Correct answer!
I like the Twin Pines Mall. It looks cool. It's got that. It's a perfect time capsule where it doesn't feel like it's manufactured 80s. It just feels like, oh, we're in the 80s. Probably because it was filmed in the 80s. So yeah. Duh. And then when they go back to the 50s, wow, Cody's favorite part is the part where they go further back in time. Whoa, what a shock! Tell me more. I love the 50s set, and the attention to detail is just so perfect in that part. I basically really love the second act, but like it's helped with a nice solid first act with introducing a lot of great characters. Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd, they hold this show up like on a pedestal. It makes the movie like it makes you like you're invested in this movie because those two characters are some of the best written characters of all time. And when one of them gets shot up by the fucking Taliban, you're like, shit, you better hop in that DeLorean and go back in time and somehow fix this without even knowing how it works. It's such a fun plot, because, you know, time travel plots are really easy to fuck up. We named some good ones. We could probably name 30 bad ones, but like, this is like the gold standard. This is like this is how you do time travel. Don't mess it up, because this is the gold standard. I don't know, it's a real and there's so many iconic lines. Like, I'm not gonna throw them at you because I'm sure all of you will just start spitting them the second you get to your segment. But like,
so why don't you make like a tree and get out of here?
Like, every 5 minutes there's a really good line. One line that really got to me that wasn't like an iconic line that I knew instantly was when Marty was next to like the little baby's cribs and he was just like playing next to the fucking like on the bars, and he says something like,
"Better get used to these bars, kid."
I'm like, that's so fucked up. Like, I get it, but like, that's so fucked up to say to a literal infant. It's so funny. It makes me forget that that's the scene where like his past mom is crushing on him. That is just something you have to get used to watching this movie.
Who among us?
What do you mean you had sex with your own mother?
She was throwing herself at me, Doc.
Jesus Christ, Marty!
I think if I were to complain about this movie, because you know me, I love to complain on perfectly good movies. Bro, I'm gonna get shot up, dude. Jeez. I think by the third act, it kind of loses, like, I don't know, it doesn't lose steam. It's more so...
Yeah, Steam's the third one.
Yeah, I haven't seen the third one. Thanks for spoiling with the kid crotch shit. Thank you.
You make it sound worse when you say it that way. I don't like the phrase "with the kid crotch shit."
Yeah, the hand motion I did not help either. So by the third act, once Biff gets his comeuppance, and it goes to like the dance area, I think the movie kind of drags a little at this point. I'm not saying there's like any scenes where I'm like, dude, get out of here, like wrap it up. I'm just saying this part should have been tight, like edited a little tighter, like especially the part where like he's dancing with the girl. I'm forgetting names, and then like the jerk just like steals him, and he just goes, oh, there goes my girl, and he does it like twice. I'm just like, what's the point of this? We could wrap this up. I mean, granted, we get like some of the best lines in the movie from that scene, but still. And then you get to like the ending. Well, I guess not the ending. God, I feel like this movie never ends. And I think that's my issue. I feel like when I think the movie's gonna have a nice, perfect ending, I feel like there's another scene right after it. Because there's the scene where he goes back, like sends the DeLorean back to the future. Whoa! And I feel like it just gets dragged out a little too long. I swear, when I saw the wire get like disconnected a second time, I was like, come on, man. I get it. I get it. It's an intense scene. I get it. And then, we get back. I know, I'm saying bullshit over here. And then we get to, like, the ending where it's like, oh, yeah, he's back to normal. Oh, yeah, except, no, everything's actually perfect and better now. And he's got everything he wants. Like, okay, whatever. Movie's over. And then, no, it's not over. Doc's back, and you gotta go to the future. And the car fucking flies now. And then the movie ends. I'm like...
They fly now? They fly now!
That was a lot. I just think the ending's a bit much. That's all. That's the only complaint I have with the movie, though. Everything else about this movie is like pretty much perfect. I love the characters. I love the set design. I love the script. Script's really nice, really funny. And yeah, I'm gonna shut up now. So back to you, Tanner.
Great stuff, Cody. Great stuff, Cody. I want to fight you. I mean, everyone's entitled to their opinion. It's just so crazy hearing like all the stuff I love in the third act, which is all these like extra tense. Like, of course, another fucking thing goes wrong, which just adds an escalation to me that makes it extra more tense. And you're saying I didn't like that part. It's interesting how people respond to things differently.
I don't think
you're wrong,
I think if it was
but it's interesting how people respond to things differently.
I just think if this movie was trimmed down by like 3 minutes, I think everything would be fixed.
3 minutes. That is
just 5 minutes or so. Just a little
very
bit.
particular. This is already under 2 hours, which feels like a miracle sometimes nowadays. Anyway, Sydney, what do you think of Back to the Future?
So this is a movie that I did watch growing up. Like, I definitely had seen it. I would go so far to say that my Gen X parents also really liked this movie, specifically my dad and stepmom. They had a full standee big poster of it at one point. And I watched it and I liked it, I really did. But it wasn't really a movie that I held a lot of specific nostalgia for. And this was the first time that I had watched it in a long time. And I know I've seen the sequel movies, but I have no real recollection of them. So I am going to definitely watch those next. So it was kind of fun to watch this because I knew everything that happens in it, but it was like I was watching it for the first time. It was as though I had just been given the Cliff Notes, but was watching it time. I remembered all the quotes, I remembered some things, I remembered the main plot points, but there were so many little details that were lost on me when I was a kid. The main thing that really did stick out to me on this watch was I didn't realize that this movie never tells you how Marty and Doc know each other.
Yeah.
Sorry, John Mulaney has an amazing bit about that.
Marty McFly is a 17-year-old high school student whose best friend is a disgraced nuclear physicist. And I shit you not, they never explain how they became friends.
It's one of those things where if you tried to explain it, it would get weirder.
Yeah. I just thought that was like an 80s thing. So yeah, you're friends with a doctor, sure.
And he's like, he's notorious. I mean, the principal is on his case about hanging out with him.
Doc, am I to understand you're still hanging around with Dr. Emmett Brown McFly?
He's my friend. So was I.
And saying, oh, you're just like your dad. He hangs out with losers
Notorious
too, or whatever. So I was really just surprised at that. But, you know, all that said, there really aren't a lot of negative things that I can say about this movie. I'm inclined to agree with Cody. As I was rewatching with my partner, we were both kind of like, they are building suspense again, even though it was just kind of resolved.
I win!
I'm sorry to say, like, it was funny. It was actually, I can't believe you said the exact moment where we were both like, oh, they're doing this again. When Lorraine gets taken by the guy on the dance floor immediately after he destroys Biff in a showdown.
Oh, there she goes.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, man. I'm like, George, get up. Get up.
Y'all be weak in the knees. Stand up. Stand up.
He does it twice.
We already did this. Come on. So, that is me just nitpicking a little bit, because there's so much magic in these Robert Zemeckis films of this time, like the Romancing the Stone, which came right before this, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, to name a few of my favorites that I like. Just such great, tight screenplays that have such amazing setups and payoffs, and great world building, attention to detail with set design and costume design. It's really a lesson in instant iconography, because, I mean, there are so many moments that you just recognize, so many moments that have become memes over the years, so many just instantly recognizable screenshots. Just the costumes are immediate, the DeLorean is immediate, like, cultural consciousness, just, it lives there. And I think that alone is a really difficult thing to, you know, I mean, it lives on in so many ways. The people who don't care about movies in general love this movie because it's just undeniably good, remain popular for a reason. There are so many moments that are sprinkled in early in the beginning that just come back, and it is really, really impressively done. It comes back to the future, one might say.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Yeah, so I don't really have a lot of bad things to say about this. I really enjoyed rewatching it. I get why it is as famous as it is. I would really be intrigued to see what this movie would have been like if Eric Stoltz played Marty McFly. It would be a different movie. I think the Crispin Glover casting is really fun and insane, and I know what Crispin Glover got up to later on in his career, and it's funny to think that that's the same guy who's George McFly. Leah Thompson's really great. Obviously, like, Christopher Lloyd's really great. Everyone is at the top of their game. I love the cinematography. I love everything about it. So it is, yeah.
Great stuff. Great stuff. It's funny you bring up how instantly iconic the DeLorean became, only because I think about the fact that this movie was my introduction to DeLorean and John DeLorean, and how grateful he was that this movie, like, brought the DeLorean back up and gave it a legendary reputation. And it wasn't until many years after watching this movie that I found out that John DeLorean wrote that letter to the producers from prison because he was busted for cocaine trafficking 3 years prior.
Womp womp.
And nobody knows that. Nobody associates the DeLorean name with the cocaine.
It could have been in there.
This is crack.
Rock cocaine.
The car was immortalized by this movie. Also, I am also very curious to see the Eric Stoltz version. Legend says there is a shot of Eric Stoltz still in this movie. It's the shot of Marty punching Biff at the diner. Legend says that's Eric Stoltz. Bob Gale, co-writer, co-producer of the Back to the Future, was once asked if that was the case, and he said, maybe, but I would need to look at the original negative to know for sure. And that's too dangerous to do. Joe, I know you love this movie like I do. Let her rip.
All right. Yes, I do love this movie, and I unfortunately don't have too much to say about it that hasn't already been said. I will say this, though, Cody. Brought up how you love the Hill Valley set and how iconic Hill Valley is. I love Hill Valley, too. However, I love it more when it's referred to as Kingston Falls, because that same set was used in Gremlins. I had to bring that up.
It's the Universal backlot, right?
It is the Universal backlot. That lot has been used in so many movies. It's mostly known as Hill Valley because, let's be real, that's the more iconic movie. But as a diehard Gremlins fan, that is Kingston Falls for me, baby. Anyway, fuck, I had jokes and I completely lost them. It's kind of funny how basically this movie is... And honestly, this kind of goes for the whole trilogy, and I gotta champion Tom Wilson here, because man, oh man, I'm sure he had a lot of fun playing the role, and it looks like he's having a lot of fun playing the role, but man, oh man, getting cast as a character in a franchise where it's like, your character is being rude to this character or this character's relative. We gotta use time travel to ruin his life and benefit ours. That's kind of, like, really kind of suck, not gonna lie. Like, fuck, I'm associated with this asshole. Biff Tannen, great villain. We'll probably sing his praises later. But then again, this movie's had so many fucking praises sung about it. It's a tight script from beginning to end, tightly edited, perfectly scored, perfectly acted. It is a perfect blockbuster in every sense of the word. I wish I had more to say about it. I'll probably talk about fun bits and moments in general discussion, but I'm going to pass it back to you, Tanner.
I was going to spend the rest of my life with him.
All great stuff. Tim, you were the closest to being born when this movie came out. You weren't, but I don't know why I said that. That was like mean. I don't know why I said that. I'm sorry.
Look at this old ass, bitch ass motherfucker.
I'm sorry. I was just thinking how, like, you're close to Gen X. Maybe you can understand aspects of this movie the rest of us can. And then I'm like, what are you saying, Tim? What are you saying, Tanner? He's only like 5 years older than you at most.
Just call him a geezer while you're at it, asshole.
Tim, you old ass boomer, what do you think of the movie?
So yeah, it's a movie. Yeah, that's my thoughts.
Woo! About damn time.
So this was you all talked about how this was a movie that you watched as kids. This was one of those movies I was always aware of, but I didn't watch until like high school, I think, like 17, 18. It's just one of those ones that we just never had in my house when I was a kid. But then my parents got the like DVD box set at Costco or something, and then I watched them from there. Yeah, this is a really solid movie. You also were talking about how a lot of you had Gen X parents who kind of like sung this movie's praises. My parents are boomers, and I do have an anecdote about them going to see this movie when it came out. Don't think they saw it with my older sisters because they would have been probably too little at that time, but I know that my mom was pregnant with my older brother Dan when this movie was coming out. What's funny is the date that the movie starts at is October 26th, 1985.
No way.
Which is 2 days after Dan ended up being born.
Could you imagine if it was the same day?
That would have been crazy. Also, November of 1955 was the month my mom was born, so just weird connections there. But yeah, this movie is definitely a classic for a reason. Like you've all been saying, very tight script, very iconic visuals and just gags and iconic lines. And like Cody and also John Mulaney have said, this movie is fucking weird and crazy when you think about it. This movie opens with an old crazy scientist getting fucking blown away in front of a JCPenney's.
By Libyan terrorists!
That shit's nuts. This is a kid's movie.
And it was awesome.
It's crazy. And then he goes back in the past and his mom is just down tremendously, down horrendously. Like this is just a very strange movie when you really think about it, but it is very good. Like, this is the kind of weird ass shit you don't get anymore. It has a lot of fucking flavor to it. It's got the sauce. This movie has so much sauce, and we love it for that. One thing I do want to bring up, I don't know how much stuff I really have to say for this portion if we do have time for general discussion. But one thing I do want to mention before I pass it back is that in our last episode of Movie Night, we talked a lot about legacy sequels. And Back to the Future is the kind of movie that seems like it would be very easy legacy sequel fodder. But I actually looked it up last night, and apparently Robert Zemeckis and Bob Gale hold the rights to Back to the Future, and Robert Zemeckis has said, this movie will not have a reboot in my lifetime, which I respect that a lot.
Like they have that written down in will?
The way it is that as long as Bob Gale or Robert Zemeckis is alive, there will never be another Back to the Future movie unless Bob Gale and Robert Zemeckis want it to happen. Once they die, though, I guarantee you Universal has a script ready to go.
Yeah.
They have a script ready for that, and they've got a script ready for E.T., the reboot.
Hopefully they'll hold it out for long enough that we don't have to suffer through a pointless reboot. These movies, quite good. Back to the Future, absolute classic, and I'm glad we talked about it today so that I had an excuse to revisit it. Back to you, Terry.
Yeah, great stuff. I'm glad you brought up the legacy sequel aspect of it, because I have a lukewarm take. I am not necessarily opposed to a Back to the Future 4. I think there are interesting avenues you can explore this idea. This is why I recommend to everyone that you play the Telltale game Back to the Future, because it's actually a really fun continuation of the story.
Yeah, it is pretty good.
I think if they're gonna make another movie, they just have to. Marty McFly is dead. Doc Brown is still inexplicably alive.
No, see, that I'm on board for.
Today.
That'd be kind of funny if Michael, if the movie opens with Doc at Marty's funeral.
Doc will live forever.
Oh, I hear.
By the way, I love that Christopher Lloyd is like 40 in this movie, and for half the movie he's playing like, I think, a 70-year-old.
Yeah.
My time to shine. Hello. I saw this thing on Twitter earlier today that had said, what is your top 10 favorite movies? And I've usually been a person that says, I don't think I can name my top 10 favorites. I can name my like top 5 or 6, but there are so many movies that I love that it feels impossible for me to sit down and actually name 10 top 10 movies. But when I saw the prompt today, I sat down and said, fuck it. And I spent an hour thinking about this, and I reached a final list. And you know what movie was number 8 on this list? Back to the fucking Future. What a perfect goddamn movie this is, right? Like, I mean, obviously, Cody had some issues with it. I understand the whole, like, even as a kid, I always thought the whole pretend that George is gonna not get with her after all thing was a little much, even watching it as a kid. But now as an adult, it's just like, nah, it's fun. I love watching Marty like collapse to the ground while the best special effects Industrial Light and Magic could do in a month and a half play on the screen. They had to rush this movie out, by the way. Originally, this was going to come out in like September. And then when the executive at Universal saw the test screenings for it, he went, we're putting this up in July. And all of a sudden, Zemeckis was like, well, shit, okay. He suddenly had a month and a half less time to finish the movie than he thought he did. And for a VFX heavy movie like this, especially in the 80s, holy shit.
Oh, God.
But it works. I mean, come on. It's hard to say anything the rest of you haven't said. The script is tight, but I also want to specifically, and the script, hold on. Bob Gale, Robert Zemeckis co-wrote it. Bob Gale, St. Louis represent. He is a St. Louis native. He got the idea for this script when he found his father's yearbook, who went to a St. Louis high school, the name of which escapes me right now, but a St. Louis area high school, saw his yearbook and went, would I have been friends with my dad if I knew him then? Which is such an interesting question to ask yourself. And it led to the Back to the Future, St. Louis, again, Bob Gale represent. The script is tight.
Oh, tight, yeah!
Zemeckis and Gale did fantastic work writing it. I want to praise Zemeckis' direction. I understand that Robert Zemeckis in the 21st century has become, unfortunately, a punchline, because when was the last time Robert Zemeckis made a good movie? Flight?
I kind of liked The Walk.
I watched Welcome to Marwin in theaters.
You did. You had you had high hopes for it.
I was the only one. Everyone saw those trailers and immediately wrote it off. I was the only person going, it can be good. It can be good. It wasn't. It was horrible. Jesus Christ, it was so bad.
Would you marry me?
Mark. Get up.
In the 80s and 90s and the 70s, Zemeckis was like an incredible director. I said Back to the Future is my 8th favorite movie in that top 10. Robert Zemeckis is the only director with 2 movies in my personal top 10 because I also fucking love Forrest Gump. Zemeckis, once upon a time, was an incredibly talented director that knew how to get perfect performances out of his cast, knew how to balance a bunch of plot lines, knew how to... That's the thing. Back to the Future, Forrest Gump, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, another great movie from Zemeckis, they all have perfect fucking pacing, right? Back to the Future especially, it flies by, but it never feels like it's rushing. Every moment does feel like it gets to breathe while it's still flying by. And he understands the importance of sometimes it's cool for a movie to just have a cool scene. Ask yourselves, guys, what does Marty doing that big guitar number contribute to the plot? I'll tell you what it contributes. Fucking nothing. But it's so cool. Who gives a shit? It's one of the best sequences in the movie. And this is a movie full of amazing sequences. The skateboarding sequence is incredible. I find the skateboarding to school sequence in the beginning of the movie incredible. The Libyan terrorist sequence is incredible.
Say that again? Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Actually, you know what? Time out. What the fuck was Doc Brown getting up to in the 1980s? Why does he have connections with Libyan nationalists? Can we talk about this? I looked this up last week because I was curious after rewatching the movie. This was like an actual, like, there was a civil war in Libya at the time or some shit. Nope. Hi, Tanner from the future here, editing the Bomb Squad movie night. I was looking up reference material for that thing I just referred to with a Libyan civil war that happened in the 1980s, only to discover that I got this so egregiously wrong that I feel compelled to set the record straight. What seems to have happened here is that I got 2 things confused. One, in 1980, a Libyan national movement started in Libya. It was largely founded by opponents of Gaddafi's government at the time. Gaddafi had been the dictator of Libya since around 1969 at that point, and it is a movement that still exists to this day. Again, largely in opposition to Gaddafi's movement. It's typically a left-wing nationalist movement. It has some critiques. I'm not here to get into that, but that's where I got the Libyan nationalist stuff from. Now, where I got a civil war from, I'm not so sure. There was a civil war in Libya, but that happened in 2011, 30 years after the events of this movie. What I think I got it confused with is around the same time the Libyan national movement was starting, Che Chad and Libya were in a very intense war at the time. It was near the end. It would have ended, I believe, in 1987 is when the Chadian-Libyan war would have ended. But it was a very serious war. It was Gaddafi attempting to expand his land, from what I understand. The Libyans had intervened and inserted themselves in Chadian politics and relations time and time again. So I confused the existence of the Libyan national movement alongside with the Chadian-Libyan war. Now, the Libyan national movement was in opposition of the current government, but no historian, at least none that I can find, described that whatever actions they performed would qualify as civil war. I mean, their Wikipedia page is very short. That's all. Wanted to set the record straight on that. Thank you for listening. Back to the show. And I think it's very telling that when they turned Back to the Future into a musical, they're not Libyan terrorists anymore. I don't remember what they changed it to. Something non-controversial, I'm pretty sure. Michael J. Fox, I think, was an incredibly special, he's still alive, I'm sorry, is an incredibly special talent. And I think the fact that Parkinson's has ravaged his body, which is one personal to me. I said earlier how if I had a time machine, I would go back in time, say goodbye to my grandfather. Well, my grandfather had Parkinson's, and that's part of the reason why he died. Michael J. Fox, God bless, is still with us. He has Parkinson's. So that's kind of like been a layer to this movie for me that makes me feel like I have a really deep personal connection with it. I think Michael J. Fox is a special actor, and I think had Parkinson's not ravaged his body, I think we could have seen some really interesting performance in this stage of his career right now. I think he had the potential as like him as an older man to do some really cool stuff. But at least he did this movie, and honestly, I know this seems crazy to say. I do think this is like an all-time great performance in terms of being a leading man in a fun blockbuster action comedy type thing. He's just so perfect. He has the looks, he has the charm, he has the charisma. For fuck's sake, he's 5'4", but he's walking around with the confidence of a man that's 6'5".
Short king.
So much so that when I found out as an adult that he was shorter than me, I didn't believe it at first. And I know I'm not trying to disparage short people, or shorter people, rather. I feel like I'm like walking into the getting canceled door right now, but...
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
Yeah, short people... I don't know, you don't usually see short people in a movie unless they're Tom Cruise and think that's the guy, but Michael J. Fox is the fucking man here. His performance is magnetic. He has chemistry, perfect chemistry of all of his things. I could watch a 2-hour movie of Marty and Doc just hanging out. I could watch a 2-hour movie of Marty and his dad as a kid just hanging out. Crispin Glover, I agree, Sydney, with where his career went. It feels so insane to think he was in a movie like Back to the Future, but I love him in this movie. I especially love when he's like an old man and he watches the TV show. What a choice, right? As an actor, what a choice. I love it. It's just so delicious. Cody said it before, there are so many iconic lines, like telling me you built a time machine?
Out of a DeLorean?
1.21
gigawatts!
I love this, just a mile a minute fun. We'll have some more to say in general discussion, I'm sure. But before we get into general discussion, let's take a brief Oh, hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, I am getting another message from the time stream from the one James the Nerd.
Now that that's taken care of, what are my thoughts on Back to the Future? I think this is just a classic. There's no way to ever redo it. This was back when movies were films and not just movies, if that makes any sense. Like, not to skip ahead, but there's a shot in Back to the Future 2 that goes behind a telephone pole and transitions seamlessly from VFX to a real car. Like, this movie did some groundbreaking things, and they only excelled in that further in the franchise. I think as a starting point, Back to the Future was a good base plate to build on for a whole franchise, which they didn't even intend on making in the first place. I think this is just a perfect line of events that all excel together to create a classic, and it's one of my favorite things ever. Give me 1 second. Yo, JFK, my boy. You might not want to get in that car.
Wait, you can't just
James
do
is
that.
up to some important shit.
Wait a minute.
Don't worry about it. Hold on. My Dealey Plaza shot glass just disappeared. I just went to the JFK museum earlier this year, and now the shot glass is gone. What the fuck is going on? We'll get into that and some more after a brief commercial break.
Silence, Earthling. My name is
John C.
Welcome back from that ad break for another ad. See that shit? That's a movie palette. Basically what it does is it takes the primary color of every frame of the movie, chops up in these little slices, puts it on a canvas for you to hang up on your wall. I have one for the movie Punch Drunk Love, new PTA in 3 weeks, let's go. Tim has one for the movie Mandy. I guarantee you they have Back to the Future on there and a variety of other movie palettes. So what you want to do, add one to your cart. If the one you want isn't on there, you can add one to your cart for a little extra money. So go ahead and check out. Before you place that order, enter the code SQUAD15 to save 15% on your order. Thanks for watching. Now, back to the show. I want to open something up with general discussion. As we just noticed, James just saved JFK, John F. Kennedy, from being assassinated, which made me wonder. So the way time travel works in this movie is that you go back, and when you go back to your present, the changes reverberate and things change, right? What happens if, like, us in this current situation, James goes back in time and starts changing shit? What do we notice? What do we see? What did it look like for the people back home?
I think it's one of those it's one of those concepts where it'd be like just instantaneous, where it's like a Mandela effect thing, where it's just like it would just happen instantly. We would never notice until like maybe it was pointed out. I guess.
I was thinking about this while I was watching the movie this time, like because Marty changed the circumstances of his parents getting together, shouldn't he be like a Chad now or something?
Well, I think he is, except he wasn't. I guess how it works is that if you're in the timeline when the change happens, you get the new memories and everything. But if you're not there when it happens, you're shit out of luck. Because Doc also Doc doesn't. What the fuck? Hold on.
Timey-wimey stuff's a little weird.
This is
also,
why I don't like time travel movies.
His siblings are so different that they're like different people. Did Marty kill his real siblings? Technically,
no. It's just no. He just cool this time around.
I have an answer.
Made them better.
Also, how did they guarantee that Marty's parents fucked at the same time and the right sperm went to the right egg again?
Life, finds a way.
You had a three-way?
Yeah.
With your mother?
Uh-huh.
And yourself?
I suggest you don't worry about this sort of thing and just enjoy yourself. That goes for you all, too. Yes.
Yeah, baby.
This is such a great question to think about it, but at the same time, Sydney was saying you don't like to talk about time travel movies. Here's my thing with that. I think people, I'm not saying this is the case with you, Sydney, but people that say that think they don't like time travel movies because they've seen a lot of bad time travel movies. Because here's the thing. If a time travel movie is good, the last fucking thing you'll ever care about is the rules of the time travel. Because you're too goddamn busy having a good time. I'm too busy having a good time watching Back to the Future to even think about the fact that if you try to break it down, it falls apart. Who gives a shit? The movie's fucking awesome. But Project Almanac, on the other hand, a mediocre time travel movie from 2013 that none of you know about except maybe Joe, because he's a freak like me. A movie that nobody in theaters saw except me and maybe Joe, because he's a freak like me, is a mediocre movie. And I try to poke holes in that. I saw that movie in a theater 12 years ago, and the rules of the time travel were 10 years ago, and the rules of the time travel still bother me. But if it was good, I wouldn't give a shit.
I do want to say you mentioned the Bob Gale St. Louis represent. This also has an allusion to Chuck Berry, and
he plays a Chuck.
He plays a Chuck Berry song and he meets his brother.
I don't love the implication that
a white guy invented rock and roll now.
That this white guy came in.
White guys always trying to steal rock and roll.
Even when I was a kid, I remember being like, so he gets the credit for that? That's interesting.
Your cousin Marvin Berry? You know that new sound you
looking for? Well, listen to this.
I think realistically, Chuck Berry would just say he still invented it and nobody would care. And also, Chuck Berry did not invent rock and roll. It was the culmination of years of rhythm and blues music from various black communities. Chuck Berry was just maybe one of the first ones to have mainstream success.
Absolutely. But that being said, this movie shows a bunch of black musicians be like, wow, white guy is showing us a new style of music. We really need to get
the sound you're looking for?
I think
well, here it is!
Balanced out by the fact that at the end of the song, everybody in the room is looking at him like he's a psychopath.
That is true, and that is funny because
like around the time he starts duck waddling, you can tell the whole band's like, "What the fuck is this asshole doing?"
I just got this feeling, man, that this summer is it's about to be a white boy summer.
He starts shredding like crazy towards the end. I didn't remember.
Johnny B. Good does not need all that. I'm sorry, it's a good song as is. It kind of makes you wonder if the judges were right to kick Marty's band out, considering he's trying to show up the material.
Listen, Marty just be shred.
Also, fun fact, the guy that's like, you guys are just too damn loud, that is Huey Lewis. The music contest judge is Huey Lewis.
That's some interesting news.
I didn't know that.
Tanner, maybe he played his music in the past so that they could put the seeds in his mind so that in the future, when he tries to play his music again, it's a hit and he'll get into the band.
Chuck Berry or Marty?
Marty McFly. No,
okay, sorry.
You know, he's influencing the past for his benefit because that's what you should always do.
Once again, if you get too into it, it kind of falls apart.
But the movie's so good that you don't care.
Listen, if you want a fucking movie that gets into all the logistics of time travel, I've got great news for you. Unfortunately, the movie is made by an asshole and it's a shitty fucking movie. The movie's called Primer. If you want logic in your fucking time travel, go watch that piece of shit.
I've never liked Primer, and Shane Carruth is an abuser. Upstream Color is
Carruth.
Unfortunately still a great movie.
If you liked Primer, I have news for you. You're an asshole.
I watched Primer and I was like, where's like the emotion? People are like, wow. There are people on Reddit that praise Primer because they're like, you can tell an engineer made this movie. Meanwhile, I say the exact same thing. You can tell an engineer made this movie. And I mean that is the meanest fucking insult possible.
I hope I never meet these people. That's all I can say is I just hope I never meet these people.
Joe, it's funny you say that. I'd like to introduce you to Cody Suiso, #1 Primer fan in the world.
I'm sorry, Cody. I've got to kick your ass now.
Wait, Cody, I did that assuming you haven't seen it. Have you seen Primer?
No.
Do you even know what I'm talking about?
Back to the Future?
That's right. The end of this movie, it's kind of fun watching now, because if they did that ending in today's cultural context, everyone would be like, sequel bait. But like, that was just supposed to be a fun ending. It wasn't sequel bait. That was just an ending.
I fucking hate modern movie discourse because
to be fair,
like that.
In the 80s, people also interpreted that as like, oh, are they going to make another one? But at the time, what Robert Zemeckis and Bob Gale says is that it was just supposed to be a joke. It's always like, it's something with your kids, man. You got to deal with your kids. That was just supposed to be a joke.
It's your kids, Marty. Something has got to be done about your kids.
And then people were like, oh, they're going to make a sequel where they actually go to the future? I feel like I'm dominating general discussion. I'm sorry. Is there anything anyone else wants to say?
So Billy Zane's in this movie.
Oh, yeah. He's like one of Biff's henchmen.
Yeah, and he's sadly not the most memorable one. The most memorable one is the guy with the 3D glasses. And it's just because he has the 3D glasses.
I do love the
3D
3D glasses guy.
Why the fuck does just one of them randomly wear 3D glasses all the fucking time?
Because it's awesome!
I think that was a thing in the 50s.
Oh, it definitely was. That was like when it started.
Between Billy Zane and Christopher Lloyd, we have two actors who, at some point or another, played Xehanort in the Kingdom Hearts franchise.
The end of the movie. It's like an iconic third act set piece where like he's running around the clock tower while Marty's trying to get the car to start again, all that shit, all this great shit. And it all revolves around a bolt of lightning. Did you guys know that that was not the original plan in the script for how they were going to get the 1.21 gigawatts of electricity needed to power the thing? Originally,
What are they gonna do?
the idea was that they would drive the DeLorean into an exploding atomic bomb.
The terrorists didn't call back. Doc can do it.
I'm trying to imagine the ending of this movie, but with like the fucking Oppenheimer music now.
It's just so funny because, like, bit much. Like, what if you're a second off? You just die, right? At least with the bolt of lightning thing, if you're a second off, oh well, I guess you're stuck here. That sucks. With the nuclear bomb thing, you fuck that up, it's over.
Marty would rather die than stay in 1955.
Well, Tanner, I'll say this: the chances of Marty fucking that up, the chances are near zero.
What more do you want from theory alone?
0 would be nice.
That's too damn bad!
I'd rather talk about Biff.
Biff's such a fun asshole.
Yeah.
Okay,
He's
hold
so
on.
fucking
I know
fun.
it's nice to say Biff's such a fun asshole, but I do want to say I think it's a testament to Tom Wilson's performance that we remember him as a fun asshole, and we forget the fact that he attempts rape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a whole.
Come
That's
on,
a whole
look
plot,
at that!
really.
What was that?
Well, shit. That was me just going, well, fuck.
I don't think the movie doesn't take it that seriously, so I understand that we as the audience really. I mean, it does take it somewhat seriously.
McFly, you keep saying these $7 fancy
Weird
words
Science
like
came out
Nike.
around the same time. Clearly, in the 1980s, you watch a movie from the 1980s, half the time it goes, want to hear a joke? Rape.
That whole plot in that.
If anything, I guess it's kind of a positive that it treats Biff as the villain for trying it in this movie.
I mean, fair, but man, oh man, I can't believe you derailed a pretty much it reference for that, Tanner.
Consent? What is that funny word?
You keep saying these words I ain't never heard of. You saying Nike, 7-Eleven, consent?
We don't take kindly to 7-Eleven around these parts. This is gonna be incomprehensible to anyone that has not seen those videos, including the 3 other people in this call.
I do watch pretty much it, but I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's also kind of I know this is more the sequels, and I want us to talk about the sequels someday. Maybe 2 and 3 could be its own episode in the future. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. My favorite shot in this movie for me, I think it's the shot where Doc just goes back to the future, and then there's the lightning strike. I just love that shot. I love that shot so much.
He said it.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry. I'm like Peter Griffin. I go, they said this thing.
Next Saturday night, we're sending you back to the future.
Oh, that's why they call it that.
Roll credits.
What are your guys' favorite bit in the movie?
I think the DeLorean like first drive where they're like recording it and everything, and Doc's just explaining everything. I think that's fine.
There's such a
That might be one of
lovely
my
subtle
favorite scenes.
detail where Marty keeps trying to walk out of the way, and Doc keeps pulling him back. And I was thinking about this on this most recent viewing. Doc did not know that was going to work.
He just said, "All right."
It is
get in
very
there,
obvious he
get in
did
there,
not
puppy."
know it was going to work. So he was like, well, if this doesn't work, I'm killing myself and my best friend,
My
who is a
17-year-old
17-year-old
best friend.
child. Don't worry about it.
Well, no, he sent the dog first. Don't worry, it was a test run.
The dog would live.
Thank
I'm
God.
saying if the DeLorean didn't go through time, it was going to run Doc and Marty over.
Oh, you're right. Sorry.
Stupid question that's already been asked like a bunch of times. Speaking of the dog and the time travel, the first time travel sequence. How the fuck did Doc get into the car that was in the truck? I suggest you don't worry about these sorts of things and just enjoy yourself.
Joe, Tim, Sydney, favorite moment.
I really think there's a moment in this movie that maybe I have a personal affinity towards because I feel like it was always what I heard quoted the most. But I think it's a line that has since kind of become cliche, but it was so groundbreakingly funny in the moment, at least, and I'm sure to audiences in the 80s. But when she says, she keeps calling him Calvin.
That is your name, isn't it? Calvin Klein? It's written all over your underwear.
It's dumb. I do say
Wild.
so myself.
I love that. That's such a good joke.
It's so funny, and I that to me that's like, and I also love the Ronald Reagan, the actor? Oh, and I bet Jane Wyman's the first lady? Like, huh.
You know who else loved that bit? Ronald Reagan.
Oh my gosh. Well, now I hate it.
When he watched the movie, he made the projectionist rewind the film so he could watch that joke again. This is what he was doing instead of, I don't know, his fucking job.
Crazy times.
I'm not a big Ronald Reagan guy, sorry.
Well,
it is really funny to be like, I suppose Jamie Lyman is the Secretary of the State.
The moment that kind of sticks out for me is that final climactic scene of them getting the DeLorean into the clock tower, just because there's just so much at stake with every little bit of it, and they literally get it down to the wire. It's a very tense scene, and like the bit of him like having it plugged in and then having it like get unplugged on a whole other area, like that's what happens to me every time I try to work with string lights, is I'll plug one in and then the other one fucking comes out every time without fail.
Joe, favorite bit?
My favorite bit is it's the final line that we hear from 1950s Lorraine, where she goes, "Marty, that's a nice name," and then she proceeds to name her first son Dave.
Marty. Such a nice name.
2,000 years later.
I forgot that you existed.
Bob Gale reminds me of a supposed plot hole. People since the 80s have been trying to say there's a plot hole in this movie, which is, wait, wouldn't by the time Marty became 17 in the new timeline, George and Elaine would be like, hey, wait a fucking minute. Bob Gale responded to this plot hole by saying, you tell me if you remember someone you knew for 8 days 30 years ago. I don't think I could.
Fair enough.
I don't think I could.
Bob. He's pretty pivotal in getting them together, though. So I feel like I would be like, wow, remember that mystical...
Yeah, but 30 years, would you really remember what he looks like?
Oh, no, not look.
I guess nobody cataloged the skateboard scene. That
Because
mystical
beyond
kid
that,
who
how are
went
they
on the
supposed to,
skateboard.
like, know, like...
It wasn't even in the yearbook.
Yeah, I love how, like, the principal just accepts, oh, there's a new student in this school, I guess.
We're like 3 months into the semester, but fuck it.
Yeah, fuck it, I guess there's a new kid. Or just, like, I assume he just didn't know, he just hadn't met this kid yet, and he's like, another fucking troublemaker, I guess, huh?
Pretty much.
That principal, abhorrent human being. I think this guy might be worse than the principal from The Breakfast Club.
He's less justified in his malice, for sure.
That's just 50.
Yeah, at least watching The Breakfast Club, I can be like, well, you know, Bender is, like, kind of a horrible person, despite it being a product of a rough upbringing. The principal in this movie is just, Strickland's just going around being like, hey, Marty, kill yourself.
Now let me give you Nichols worth of free advice, young man.
Your life is nothing. You serve zero purpose. You should kill yourself now.
Tell your dad I said the same to him, too.
Yeah. I love, like, every McFly in Hill Valley has been worthless. Like, god damn. You could just say that in the 80s? Well, it's getting a little long. I think we've said a lot about Back to the Future, so I think it's time for us to transition to our final Hold on. I'm getting another message from James in the time stream.
Boys, I am currently in September of 2001.
God.
In Japan, about to get myself a GameCube. Let's go. While I'm in line here, I want to give some general thoughts about this movie. I think that Back to the Future has really stood the test of time. I mean, the writing, the music, and everything that went into this movie, I feel like they really created one of the best stories ever written. Sorry. As far as adventure and like a full family movie goes, like this is a perfect film. I mean, I can't wait till I show my niece this movie. I feel like she's gonna like it too. She's very adventurous and smart in that way. And you know, like this is just a generational movie you can show on and on forever. I mean, when I talked to a few fans at the Back to the Future premiere for Broadway, I mean, it was the same thing. You saw people from all ages just gathering together for one thing, and that's like the beautiful part of life sometimes, you know? But, sorry, I'm getting existential. But yeah, movie good.
Movie good, that's right. All right, let's transition to our final thoughts on Back to the Future. Sydney, we'll start with you.
Yay! As I said before, I really enjoy this movie. I do think it withstands the test of time. What I find so interesting about it is it really shows how much culture was changing and accelerating from 1955 to 1985, because if we did this today, going back 30 years, we'd be going to 1995. Doesn't seem all that different. At least we would have some moments of shock, but not the extreme culture shock that Marty experiences going back in time. I really do like watching it as a reflection and meditation on both the 80s and the 50s. And I will close my thoughts by saying that I've had a really good time recording this movie night. And to the viewers watching at home, you might not be ready for this yet, but your kids are going to love it.
I would love if
had to
one of
say
our
it, I had to
viewers
say
have
it.
children.
They're going to watch it.
Sorry, but I trailed off. I just said I'd love it if our viewers had children, and then I forgot to complete the sentence and watch the show.
Our viewers are never gonna have children.
Increase the birth rate. That is like the most Nazi-ass shit I've ever said. I apologize. Tim, final thoughts on Back to the Future?
Yeah, Back to the Future. It's an absolute classic. It's iconic. It's stood the test of time for a reason. There's so many good things about it. It's very funny, very charming, and I'll leave you with 4 words. I'm glad Reagan dead. Back to you, Tanner.
I'm glad Reagan dead. Cody, final thoughts on Back to the Future?
Back to the Future, man. Regardless of what I said before, this is still a really, really, really good movie. I love movies with complicated concepts with very simple yet streamlined execution. Great movie. I can't wait to watch it again, and I can't wait to watch part 2 and 3. I have not done that yet, so I can't wait to do that.
Hot take, I like 3 more than 2. Apparently that's a hot take. That's my opinion. Joe, final thoughts.
I have that hot take too, Tanner. Movie insert joke about how Leah Thompson's movie immediately after Back to the Future was Howard the Duck, and insert joke about her character wanting to fuck a duck here. Back to you, Tanner.
My final thoughts on Back to the Future is that like I said, this is my top 10 favorite movies ever made. It's a perfect screenplay. It's perfectly directed, perfectly cast, perfect music. Alan Silvestri, underrated composer. Right? He has to be an underrated composer. He did the music for this movie.
The dude made the Avengers theme.
Which is a great theme. Okay. Even if you don't really care. That's a great theme. I think we can all agree that's an awesome theme.
It's a really good theme.
Yes.
It's a fucking amazing theme. Alan Silvestri did a great job. The whole cast and crew did a great job. Even the best boy Grip did an amazing job. But you know who else did an amazing job with their grip? Yeah. Oh, hold on. I'm getting yet another message from James through the time stream.
December 16th, 1773, Boston Harbor. Colonists were dumping tea into the water, and I brought a cup with some ice.
Why'd he go back?
That's right. I invented brisk iced tea. No problem getting a sponsorship now. My hand feels a little bit fuzzy though. But what are my final thoughts on Back to the Future? I mean, what can I say I haven't said already? It truly stands the test of time. It's been 40 years and we're still talking about it. And I think in another 40 years we'll be looking back on it as classic cinema, which I already do. I think this is the last generation that's going to be able to interact with the cast, which I think is kind of a sad moment. I mean, they do all these conventions and appearances because of the effect of what the movie has had on people. So it'll be sad, but hey, we're not there yet. Movie good.
Yes.
Movie good.
You know who else is good?
Not you,
the person watching / listening to this episode of Bomb Squad Movie Night. If you are listening on any of the platforms we're on, thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate it. How about you leave us a review? It helps boost us in the algorithm or something. I don't know. I just work here. If you are listening, how about you mosey on down over to our Patreon? For the $5 tier, get you access to commentary tracks. We just recorded one for the 2025 War of the Worlds movie, so that's a lot of fun. And the $10 tier gets you access to a shout out to my mom, Tanya Kraft. Thanks so much for contributing to the channel. We really appreciate it. And if you aren't done giving us money yet, how about you going on over to our merch shop? That's right, bombsquadproductions.shop. We got t-shirts, hoodies, hats, posters, stickers, magnets. Find something. I'm sure you can find something you want, and we really appreciate it. And it's good quality merch, I promise.
Yeah, I if you want to give me directly money, Etsy. I have a Etsy shop. 35mm keepsakes is what it's called. I'll have a link in the bio. Right now, I am just selling keychains with little 35mm film cells in them. I'm gonna have some fun movies that have 35mm film cells of them in keychains, and I think. But yeah, go to my Etsy shop. It's a fun way to have a piece of film with you at all times, especially if you're a film lover. Back to you, Tanner. Thank you for letting me promote my shit.
Yes. Great stuff. And if you are watching us on YouTube, thank you oh so very much for watching. We really appreciate it. How about you go down to the comment section below and let me know, what do you think of Back to the Future? What's your favorite time travel movie? What would you do if you could go back in time? What's your favorite of the Back to the Future movies? Are you down to see a Back to the Future 4, or have you played the game? And finally, where were you born, when, and what's your social security number? Comment below and let me know. While you're down there, hit the like button so we know how much you like us. Hit the subscribe button so we know how much you love us. Hit the bell icon to know exactly when we upload new videos. Thank you so much for watching. Want the next movie night? Cody, would you please share with the audience what the next Bomb Squad movie night will be on?
You've all been waiting a long time for this. Tune in next movie night for fucking Mac and Me, baby.
We're doing it. That's right. Cody's hosting it. Cody's editing it. Should be a good time. Can't wait to see it. We'll see you then. We'll see you then. It's been a great time. Thank you again for watching Bomb Squad. Hold on. I've got another message from James in the time stream.
Tanner, help! I'm fading out of existence!
Shit. Fuck. I gotta go. I'm coming, James! Oh, come on, you fucker, get to 88, get to 88! 85? 88! Oh, shit! Oh, thank God.
Just slid my ticket across the table and I said, "Sorry guys, I gotta see about a girl."